Yeah.
I'm also reading Los Tipos Malos in Spanish. I'm reading children's books in Spanish right now to try to augment my Spanish. Exciting stuff.
Cueva Submarina?
No, I haven't had that one. I do have El Gato Ensombrerado. It's the cat in the hat for those uninitiated. Anyway, I'm excited to be here this morning, Stephen, because Jake said that you could probably use my help more early today than late.
You're always welcome to stay late if you want.
I appreciate that. I got to run my son to school, but I come back after that.
Drive him.
That's a better idea. You're right. It would be exhausting to run him there.
I'm not going to go this year. Every year I say that I might go. I'm not going to go. But I'm looking at, because I signed up for a lot of stuff that I probably shouldn't. I'm looking at my invitation. I don't know if it's an invitation, but just making me aware. Jake, what would you do if I went to Dallas for a JFK assassination conference?
Well, I might demand you take me with you.
Features researchers with new information about the assassination files. It's November 20th through the 23rd. This year, it's titled History Declassified, and will feature authors expounding on new information in the released files, as well as those skeptical about heavily redacted information related to the murder of the 35th president 62 years ago in Dealey Plaza.
Well, like I said, I demand you take me with you.
Well, then next year.
Is there a Zoom that we can get on?
Actually, there are.
Right. I'd be like...
The conference is dedicated to pursuing the truth and justice in the murder of President Kennedy. Will take place November 20th through the 23rd at the Doubletree Hilton Market Center.
I'd be willing to split the cost
in Dallas.
I'd like to watch some of that.
The conference features more than 20 speakers. So,
I'm in. Let's get the truth out there.
Yeah, finally.
I've been offered one of the leading publishers of research on the JFK assassination for an interview, if you like.
I could summarize it for you real quick. It's the CIA and Mossad.
Oh, boy.
Forward.
There you go. And the mob.
Jake.
All three.
The Lacuna is the name of the book I'm reading, by Barbara Kingsolver.
Hmm.
I like it. It's a good book. It came recommended by a friend.
I have a new TV show that I started watching last night I can recommend to you guys.
Okay.
This one, you might be able to watch with your wife.
Oh, nice.
Is this the one on Peacock?
Yeah. Peacock!
I almost started it, but I watched Landman.
Peacock! Peacock! Yeah. Peacock!
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Sarah Snook.
Yeah, boy.
All
her fault.
Yeah, all her fault. I almost started it because you told me about it yesterday.
So here's the deal. One episode in, and we're like, oh yeah, this is good.
Is it a thriller?
It's a thriller.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of a whodunit.
Ooh.
And the way they set it up at the end of the first episode, like you really don't know what's going on. Just a quick. Let's not giving anything away. Sarah Snook, who we fell in love with in Succession, as Shiv Roy, and
does she use her real accent in this one?
No, she's American in this one.
She speaks.
Yeah,
speaks American.
And so like
American English.
Dakota Fanning's in it. Michael Pena's in it.
Nice.
No, it's a really good cast.
I didn't know she had an accent.
Oh yeah.
So like after I'd watched like half of Succession, I'm like, wait, hold on, what?
Of course, like half the cast was English.
I know, it's wild.
But
it's wild when you hear somebody, like, and then all of a sudden they have is she Australian or is she English? She had an accent.
She's from Adelaide, Australia, according to quick wiki search.
Her character, she plays a very successful working mom, and she I mean, it's not giving anything away. She has a 5-year-old son, and he's at a play date, right? After school play date, and then she goes to pick up the kid.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
address,
Okay, yeah, I've seen the trailer for this.
and the address, like, the kid's not there, and it's the wrong address.
Yeah.
And the text from the mom saying that, you know, he's over here. Then she calls and the number's out of order, and the mom, she finally gets told the mom, she says, I never texted you about a play date. It's now it's just the kid's gone,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
and you go from there. It's good, and it's got a great cast, and as Jake points out, it's on Peacock. So started that. I already had the episode 1 of Landman in the books, and I'm caught up pretty much on Mayor of Kingstown. So we started that last night. It's good. It looks like it's going to be. Hopefully, it can maintain this element of surprise. And
I'm 3 in. I've one. I didn't see Sundays yet for Mayor Kingstown.
oh, you know what? That's where I am too. I didn't see it Sunday. That's right. I've only done 3.
Yeah.
I forgot there's 4. So
I have maybe some gripes about Landman, but whatever.
well, go ahead.
Too much of the daughter.
Yeah.
Too much of the mom.
I already said that. Yeah, I already said that to Susan.
Like it's a drastic decline when they're involved.
I don't like the whole.
It had me that monologue about breakfast. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, but the whole
That's what I'm here for.
the whole recruiting trip to
Yeah,
TCU,
no,
I didn't need any of that.
Didn't need it. It's a waste of. 20
But I thought the
minutes.
introduction to Sam Elliott was great.
Oh, yeah.
Did you not like that?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I figured it out pretty quick. I was like, I know who that is.
Did you like the fact that his name is TL, like
TL.
Todd Lebo? The way
TL.
Todd signs his emails. Todd signs all his emails in the
TL.
office TL.
I didn't think
And
about
that's Sam Elliott's character
name
in
is
Landman.
TL.
So now we get to call it TL. What's up, TL?
TL.
Yeah.
Sam Elliott's the best. You know? So, that's all.
The dude abides.
That's right.
Man, did Eli Drinkwood say a lot of stuff at his press conference yesterday. And then he had to clarify some of it at his Tiger Talk appearance last night.
Oh.
He got some people all worked up. We'll listen to more of it in the 7 o'clock hour. They did play some of it yesterday. They've got some chunks of it already, don't they, Jacob? I saw
Yeah.
an email from Mr. Lebo.
Four chunks there. I'll cut some more up.
From TL.
TL.
That's what he is from now on.
TL. Send an email.
Right. And so look, hey, the Chiefs lost on Sunday to the Broncos. They have a big game against the Colts. We'll get to it. I need a break. I can't keep talking about how depressing that loss was.
And we can
It
avoid
angers me.
Kansas Duke all day if you want.
No.
I'm
I
fine
got
with
some
that.
thoughts on it.
Give him.
No, I will.
Now.
Right now?
Yeah, sure. I was going to wait till 6:30, but if you feel strongly about something, get it off your chest.
We could also talk World Cup qualifiers. There's pretty impressive stuff last night for that. But anyway, KU, yes, they held their own versus Duke for most of the game without Darren Peterson, and that is a positive. They got out-rebounded by 11 in this game and gave up 13 offensive rebounds, and they don't shoot the three well again, which really concerns me. And I know Cole Rosario's supposed to be a good shooter, so maybe he'll become one. He went 0 for 5 from 3 yesterday. He's really struggling right now. Maybe the game's just a little fast for him. I don't know. But they went 4 for 21 from 3. If you can't hit threes in the modern game,
The modern game of basketball.
you almost have to play perfectly. And when you can't hit threes, and then you can't get a defensive rebound. Like down the stretch in that game, every time they'd force a miss by Duke, they couldn't get the rebound. And so that was I'm worried about their shooting. I'm worried. Hopefully Rosario starts to get his feet under him and becomes the kind of shooter they need him to be, because I don't think this is a very good outside shooting team. And Peterson's an amazing player, but I'd hate to see them become so dependent on him that they can only win big games if he's out there. They showed they could hang, but if they can't rebound better and if they can't shoot the three, that doesn't really do you a lot of good. So that was really frustrating to watch down the stretch in the game for me.
You bothered by any of that, Jake?
No, I co-sign on all of it, but also it's just like Hard to say a team's a poor shooting team this early. You know,
Yeah.
you just don't know what you have yet.
He just said it.
Well, the thing about it. This is what's great about losing a game like this is these November games kind of don't matter. I mean, they'll matter a little bit for seeding, but in general, like we talked about before, last year they were winning these games, and then they got worse as the season went on. Hopefully, this is the type of thing where we look back and go, remember when they couldn't shoot at the beginning of the year? Look at them now.
Right.
Look at how much better they're shooting, and, look at how much better they've gotten defensively. I mean, like, they don't play great defense yet either, and that's usually the hallmark of a Bill Self team. So, hopefully those things.
There's guys that I hope in. I mean, White was 2 of 4 from behind the arc. I think he could blossom into a pretty good outside shooter, and I don't know. There's hope.
Yeah,
And I think, like, when you don't have Peterson, it's just it's hard because I think he creates a lot of open looks for other guys, and so I think that makes a big difference. So it's just so hard to judge a team like this when you don't have the cog, the main guy. So.
Yeah, but they might. Who knows how long you're going to be without him? They've got to be able to win games. They can't just rely on him. And I think a lot of those looks were open looks last night.
Well, if he's out for an extended period of time, into the Big 12 season, then you can almost write this year off. I hate saying that.
What?
But I'm talking about making a Final Four run. You don't have a guy like that. I think your hopes of making a Final Four.
Yeah, that's probably true. I like Counsell a lot.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Tyshawn Taylor. And I heard that comp, and the more I watch him, the more I see it.
I like him too.
Yeah.
So, a lot of hope there. But, you need to get Peterson healthy. Then that's priority number 1.
But I think this also showed they have other things they need to get better at, even if he comes back. They got to get better defensively.
Yeah,
they got to get
rebounding.
defensive rebounds.
Yeah, rebounding's a mentality.
And guys like Rosario, he's going to have to, he's going to have to develop as a shooter. That's supposed to be his strength coming in, or one of his strengths. So hopefully, as he gets more games under his
That's
belt.
a rough night.
So then, what are your expectations with him?
With Peterson, I still don't know yet.
Can you win the conference?
You can contend for it.
Man, you look at this conference.
What if you don't win it again?
Well,
I think you're
there's
looking,
like 5 teams ranked in the top 15 or something.
I think
like
right
that.
now, for a yearly success, you have to have success in the NCAA tournament. If you don't win the conference and you're competitive, if you finish second or third, I think that's still pretty.
But that used to be the expectation. To win the
this conference just looks different. Than
Not
it
anymore
used
now.
to be.
The landscape of college basketball looks different.
You added. There's a lot more
Houston's ranked
teams.
number 2. Arizona's ranked number 4.
BYU's in the top.
BYU's
10.
number 9. Texas Tech's number 15.
The landscape's just different in this conference.
Iowa State's 16.
It's not the Big 12 anymore. It's the Big 16.
No, it's a Big 12 still.
It's not the old Big 10.
What if they don't finish in the top 4 of the conference?
That'd be disappointing.
It's happened the last couple years, right?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's why it'd be disappointing.
What if that's the new norm?
Well, I don't think Kansas will ever settle for that being the norm, but what do you do about it? I don't know.
Tournament success. I think you can handle finishing 4th in the Big 12 and having an Elite 8 Final Four run, and I think that wipes it away. I think that's more important at this stage of the game.
All right. Are either one of you going to the Missouri-Kansas game?
I don't have tickets as of now.
There's been discussions of it
With who?
with some of my friends.
Okay.
Are you?
I don't think so because I have to work that night
The Texans game.
at Arrowhead, and so I don't know if I want to.
Yeah.
I mean, I could, but then I might regret it. It's like it sounds good on paper, but then it may not sound good in reality. I could just watch the basketball game and then head out to Arrowhead versus being at the basketball game and then maybe I'd have to head right out to Arrowhead pretty much. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It just depends. I mean, I would for sure if I wasn't working that night, but then
Yeah.
Arrowhead calls. I think it might also depend on what happens with the Chiefs between now and then.
Man, a lot could happen. A lot could happen. Good and bad.
It's unbelievable how many people are jumping off the bandwagon.
Dude,
and you know what? I'm good with it.
I saw the
Take
post.
take the mask off your face. Reveal yourself as bandwagon fans. And I've noticed
They'll be right back on, man.
most of the bandwagon. Well, but you've revealed yourself.
Right. No,
I'm seeing people demanding that Andy Reid be fired.
Oh, jeez.
I'm seeing, and it's all the obviously the crazy people on social media.
Just call them bots.
But
a lot of bots out there.
There are
A lot of bots.
well, there's real people behind
I know.
these.
I know there are.
Let me tell you.
Might as well be bots.
I mean, you could tell that some of them just became fans like in 2018. Because if this is all it takes for them to be pushed off a bandwagon, 5-5, you ain't been through nothing. If this is what knocks you off the bandwagon, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
but you know what? Fine. That's fine.
the thing that just floors me about it is during this run, we've seen the Chiefs have some really rough patches in the middle of the regular season. We've seen them play some bad games. We've seen them, just 2 years ago, I'll never forget the Raiders game on Christmas when they lost at home.
Well, there are plenty of people that gave up on the season at that point.
And I was kind of one of them. I was like, this team's not winning the Super Bowl unless something drastic changes because they don't look like a Super Bowl caliber team this year.
But the difference
and then
is
what
none
do
of
they do?
Yeah, but none of those seasons, none of those struggles cost them the division.
Yeah.
And none of those struggles had them battling for their playoff lives.
Yeah.
They've had bad losses. Remember the loss to the Titans a few years ago after Mahomes came back, and I think they were 6-4. And there have been times where things have been questioned, but nobody was good enough in the division
Right.
to take advantage of any struggles by the Chiefs, and the struggles were few and far between. And the Chiefs were always secure in their positioning for the playoffs. It was never this deep into the season thinking if they don't turn things around now, they could miss the playoffs. Because if they don't turn things around now, they could miss the playoffs.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And every single game is now like a playoff game because you just look at the tie-breaking situation, and I know they play the Chargers again, but the Chargers are like 3-0 in the division. And if you split head-to-head, you still got to be able to have a better division record than them, and that doesn't look promising right now, but things could change. Their backs are certainly against the wall, and every game's going to be like a playoff game. But how it's just amazing how quickly people forget. And I love Andy Reid has been washed up for a couple of years. So I was like, I get it that they didn't win it, but you do realize they were in the Super Bowl last year. You do realize that they have been in the AFC Championship game every single year with Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. Like, what are we doing? What are people talking about? It makes, and again, well, I briefly chatted with Chris Jones last night. He was doing an event with Joe's Kansas City Barbecue, where we all had a fabulous lunch yesterday.
Oh, it was beautiful.
And I will play just a comment from Chris Jones. I asked him a little bit about what he was doing last night, and he was giving out turkeys and groceries and food to people that need it through his partnership with Joe's Kansas City Barbecue. And so we like to highlight stuff like that, and that's always nice to see. He's over in KCK on Minnesota Avenue, Jake. KC and Nate working with KC Dream Center.
Nice.
And so talked about that, but then I asked him, what's your message for fans out there that are wavering or the fans that are still, behind the team as you guys are trying to get back in the playoff picture. And we'll play that clip later. But it's just the overwhelming negativity has, I don't want to say completely surprised me, but surprised me a little bit because I just thought, there's got to be some goodwill built up there. Overall, has this season gone well? No. Have there been times where the game plan could have been better? Yes. Have there mistakes been made? Of course. Yes, because they're 5-5. But hasn't there been any goodwill built up? Doesn't 7 straight AFC Championship games, doesn't multiple Super Bowl appearances, doesn't that give you at least a little bit of the benefit of the doubt? I'm not saying you can't be critical. Hell, I'm critical all the time. But I still think they're going to make the playoffs. I still think they're going to go on a run here. I still think they're going to beat the Colts on Sunday. Now, if they lose to the Colts on Sunday, I'll come in here on Monday and sing a much different song. And yes, I thought they beat the Broncos, and they didn't. And at some point, they got to win these games. I think they're going to win. And they got to win every game. There are scenarios where they could go 6-1 and not make the playoffs if things didn't fall the right way. So to make sure that they're in, they got to win every game, and they have to have that mentality. But again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you they can't do it. It can't be done. And again, look, is the schedule? Is there a bunch of gimmies? No, there's a couple coming up, but they'll be done with the toughest part of the schedule. It can't get any tougher than at Buffalo and at Denver.
You're right.
It can't get any tougher than that. And it was, it wasn't easy early on in the season. But this is where they have a chance to make up ground and make something happen. They went. Normally, we see them able to navigate their way through the schedule, through tough parts of the schedule, better than they have this year, clearly. But, you had to deal with, on paper, Philadelphia and Baltimore and Detroit early on, and they won 2 of those 3 games. At Buffalo and at Denver. I wish they could have pulled out a win against one of those teams, but there's, in the grand scheme of things, there's nothing embarrassing losing at Buffalo and losing in the last second at Denver. It sucks, but it's also, we're so focused on what's wrong with the Chiefs, and I hate to have to do it, but you got to give credit. A lot of it's about the Broncos and how they're better. They're better than they have been before.
A lot better.
This division's way better.
They don't have an embarrassing loss yet, the Chiefs.
But if they go out and beat the Colts, who are you gonna pick when they play at Dallas?
The Chiefs.
Who are you gonna pick at home against Houston?
The Chiefs, but it'll be a tough game.
Home against the Chargers.
I almost think that Dallas game on Thanksgiving is going to be tougher than the Texans.
Ooh.
These are all tough games. Maybe
at Tennessee. Home against Denver, at the Raiders. Yeah, they're all tough games.
It's the NFL.
But
Jinx.
They'll be favored in every one of those games. They're favored this weekend.
Right.
Just, don't jump off the bandwagon yet. I still think they got to run in them.
Yeah. How are you going to jump off the bandwagon?
I don't know.
On guys like Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Because you were a bandwagon jumper to begin with.
But the reason you're on the bandwagon is because of those guys. That's why you're on the bandwagon.
Yeah, but superficial.
I mean, you think Andy Reid just turned into an idiot, huh?
It's like when you date somebody for the wrong reasons.
Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
For the superficial
superficial
reasons.
stuff, and
it's
then-
not real. And when things get tough,
Yeah.
you know,
You marry somebody because they got a great job, and then all of a sudden
Right.
they don't have that great job anymore, and now you don't love them like you did.
right?
Yeah. Because you didn't marry them for who
What
they
are you
are as a
laughing
person.
for?
I like
I think
this
that's-
deep. I like this. Yeah.
It's superficial. It's not
get it.
real.
I get it.
And so then when you go through tough times, then your
can't count on
relationship is not built on anything solid. There's no solid
foundation.
foundation.
This is real talk.
And
I
so
like
if you're
this.
just a bandwagon jumper,
Yeah.
then there's nothing. Your fandom is not built on solid ground.
You're making
And
mortar
so you can
without
just jump
sand.
off. I mean,
There's no foundation.
If the Pioli era didn't
away.
kill us, we're we're invincible.
yeah, our love for the Chiefs is steadfast and true.
You can't touch us.
Yeah, right.
You can't get any worse than that.
We got through Todd Haley.
Number 1 overall pick. You can't. You know,
We gave our cadoos to Romeo
we're
Crennel.
bulletproof. You know.
Don't be so locked in the quarterback. We were talking about it. He's so locked in on this quarterback thing. There's a whole lot of other football players out there.
We survived
You
that.
know?
We stayed with the team through that.
If your relationship is built on shaky ground, that's
That's what you're gonna get. Man,
that's
just real talk is
Yeah.
what that is.
yeah. You're damn right. It's real talk. All right. We'll take a break. Back after this on WHP. Stephen St. John here for Kansas City Credit Union. I've been telling you about Kansas City Credit Union celebrating their 85th anniversary. And if you're a member, you get so many benefits like a special CD rate of 3.85% APY, and you pick your term, an extra discount of 0.85% off any auto loan, and $85 bonus for new MyKC checking accounts. Stop by one of Kansas City Credit Union's 3 branch locations. They have one just off 435 and Eastwood Traffic Way. They have one downtown and also one in the Northland on North Oak. All right, stop by to take advantage of these offers today. And remember, if you work, worship, or reside in Jackson, Cass, or Clay County, Missouri, you are eligible for membership. Visit kansascitycreditunion.com/810sports for more information. That's kansascitycreditunion.com/810sports, and tell them SSJ sent you. Okay, let's play some of these comments from Eli Drinkwitz. I'm curious to see what you guys say about this. He said a lot. He normally does. There is, okay. Now, you work quick, buddy. Okay, young man. We'll start off there. Let's start off with Eli Drinkwitz. He began the press conference with a review of what happened against Mississippi State, including Ahmad Hardy's 25 carries for 300 yards. Thank you.
Man, that dude is a stud. Man.
Yeah, I almost think you should give it to him at the goal line. At the.
I mean, nobody's tackling him.
I'm not going to go through that again. Sorry.
Yeah, let Vanderbilt game go.
I bit my tongue. Thank you. But so then he goes into that, and then he decides to address all the rumors out there about him being the subject of other schools' coaching searches to replace their or to fill their head coaching vacancy. So nobody asked him about it, but in his opening statement, he talked about the team's win over Mississippi State and then went into addressing the rumors.
You know, two things I want to address real quick just before we get going. Number one, job rumors. You know, I'm not going to comment on message board chatters, tweets, sources. You know, I've maintained with you and our team that my complete focus is on the task at hand. You know, last week, people were tired of me because I couldn't win the big game. People had me meeting with my team and telling them that I was going to another school, none of which were true. Now this week it's a different story because we scored the second most points in the SEC this year at 49. So, you know, all of this stuff is just a distraction. You know, I would like to remind everybody, including our fans, we absolutely love Mizzou. We love what we're building. We've been to 6 straight bowl games. We've got the sellout streak going. Our administration has been nothing but phenomenal to me. The alignment that we have with our president, President Choi, his support for our program, his support in what we're trying to build. Todd Graves, the head of the Board of Curators, has been tremendous since he started on the board and is always looking for ways to improve our athletic department. Bob Blitz has been a guy that was instrumental in rebuilding the north end zone and being on the forefront of the athletics committee. Laird Beach has been great to work with on a day-to-day basis. You know, since I've been here, I've signed multiple extensions. In fact, I signed one this past summer. So all the speculation is really a tribute to them, and it's a tribute to our team's success and their commitment to our team. And that's where my focus is going to remain on our team and our current situation, and I'm not going to get into all that stuff because, again, it's just a distraction.
He's not going to get into it, but he just did. And man, he hears it all, and he's gotta be on Power Mizzou, or he's got someone close telling him what's on there, and because I mean he's really in tune with what the fan base is saying, because you heard him there, and he referenced this a couple of times in the press conference yesterday. You know, last week y'all couldn't win the big game. You know, this week is a different story because we scored 49 points against Mississippi State. I'm like, not really. It's not. It's still. That doesn't absolve the criticism that Missouri's come up short in big games. That was an important game because it was the current game, and they did need a win, and they did need to bounce back, and he did need to show that now that it looks like there's some weird scenarios that have been painted up that they could still make it to the playoffs, but that's not. It's so wild. But now that goal is gone, do you lose the team? Does the team lose its focus? Will they still come out and play at a high level? And I wanted to see that against Mississippi State, and they're still operating with a true freshman quarterback. They came out and they spanked Mississippi State, and they played very, very well. And it was a very good all around game, and so that was good. That was great to see, because you don't know. Sometimes teams that have lofty goals and they don't, it's apparent they're not going to reach them. Sometimes they could take a step back. Like he had said leading up to the game. You have to find what you're playing for. And he said, we'll find it. We're playing for each other, but you get locked in on that goal and you move forward. And you come out and you want to win, for the seniors because it was senior night, and they did, and they were very impressive. So, but it's just interesting how he, last week I couldn't win the big game. This week it's different because we put up 49 points. So he's very in tune with what's going on.
His ears are up.
Yeah. He also wanted to talk about. There's been a lot of talk about Bo Prabula because he was seen warming up on the field before the game. He was listed as doubtful, and then it was Matt Zenitz reported that he could play against Oklahoma. And so here's and Drinkwitz addressed this several times again during the press conference. Here's what he said about the quarterback, Bo Prabula.
I know there were some questions about Bo Prabula. Bo Prabula is currently working through his rehab process. And with the oversight of the doctors and the training staff, we're going through a protocol. He has been allowed to practice with certain limitations, which is why he appeared on the SEC availability report last week and why you saw him on Saturday in pregame warm-up. We will see how he progresses this week, and you will be updated on the SEC media report, or by apparently now Matt Zenitz or Pete Thamel's tweets.
Boy, he was feeling it yesterday. Okay, so we'll take a break, and when we come back, I'm going to play some comments for you about, he talks about NIL and some questions. So in the game, Tom Hart, who's mentioned, and Jake, you could talk about this when we come back, some comments that Eli Drinkwitz had made in a meeting, right? Coaches have a meeting with the broadcast crew before the game, right?
Yes. It's a production meeting. Yep,
okay, so
absolutely.
A production meeting. When coaches speak in those production meetings, is that pretty much a given that the broadcast crew can use those comments on the air, or no? Is that normal? How does that work?
It varies. Usually when the coach says something that he does, he's like, this is not for air. I've seen that said very many times. Like, hey, I'll tell you this, but this stays here. Or this is not to be on broadcast, but here's what's going on with this.
They kind of shoehorned this into the broadcast, and paraphrasing here that Tom Hart said we spoke with Eli Drinkwitz, and I asked him directly what he's looking for to stay, and he talked about the need for Fortune 500 companies that are based in the state of Missouri to invest in the program and invest in their players and NIL, because that's what's going to take them to the next level. And so people took it different ways. And Drinkwitz told them that to have him, some people said they were surprised, and maybe Drinkwitz didn't think they'd have it on the broadcast. Other people think, well, of course Drinkwitz, he's very, savvy about this, said this and wants us out there for one of two reasons. Either number one, he's telling you, he's trying to get the message what it's going to take to get him to stay, or he's laying the groundwork for why he's going to leave.
I've also heard producers and guys like Ian Eagle, they'll ask me, "Hey, can we use that?" So
yeah, I was gonna say that there's times when I do these kind of calls and I'll tell the coach will say something and just your common sense will go,
yeah.
Do you want that out there publicly?
Right.
And they'll go, no, that's just for you guys.
So does that make sense though? But if he did want it out there, it's for one or two reasons. Either one, like, hey, this is what I need for you guys to keep me here. We got to get this done. Yeah. Or laying the groundwork for when he leaves. Well, this is why, I mentioned this.
And maybe a little bit of both.
There we go. It's very interesting. We'll take a break. Back after this on WHP. Stephen St. John here for Window Nation, and it's the month of November. Nice and crisp and cool. this morning, and the problem is that cool air could be coming into your home if you don't have the right windows. And this November, you got to remember, you can save big with 50% off all window styles. Plus, you can get 0% financing for 5 years. And Window Nation will include their professional one-day installation. Their proven quality windows are so good, you'll actually save money on lower utility bills. And they come with a lifetime warranty. So don't miss out on 50% off and 0 interest for 5 years. The sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com to get started. That's windownation.com and tell them SSJ sent you. All right, here's a couple of clips of Eli Drinkwitz talking about NIL and financial support. I think this stuff's interesting. We'll play one here and then one in the next segment. You'll hear, this is Gabe asking the question, right? Gabe DeArmond from PowerMizzou.com, and this is Eli Drinkwitz yesterday at his press conference.
Lay it on me, Gabe.
Eli, since you kind of brought it up,
Since I kind of brought it up.
The comments on the broadcast in relation to the businesses and support.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that? And do you feel like that the appropriate financial support is here for you to go where you want this program to go?
Yeah, I'm honestly just loosely aware of what exactly was commented. I know in our pre-production meeting on Friday, they were asking about our NIL, and I said one area that I think we can improve is the utilization of our Fortune 500 companies in this state. We have 11 I believe it's 11 Fortune 500 companies in this state, which is fourth largest among the SEC footprint. And we've got to continue to develop the relationships with those companies and get those companies to invest in our athletes. And whether we're talking about football, basketball, women's basketball, softball, women's soccer, wrestling, volleyball, baseball, we need their support. You know, we are the institution of this state, and we provide those companies with a lot of workers. And so it would be awesome if we got to see some reciprocal investments in that. I don't think that's an unusual ask or an unusual request. This is all new. I'm not assigning blame to anybody or not pointing fingers at any Fortune 500 company. I'm just asking, if you're a Mizzou grad in that company and you're in charge of marketing, we would love to join in with some NIL opportunities for our student athletes, because that's the forefront. The number one way to get through the it's not the CSC, it's what called? NIL Go, is Fortune 500 company. If a Fortune 500 company does an NIL contract with a student athlete, it's automatically guaranteed to go through. It's approved because of the fiduciary responsibility that Fortune 500 company has to its shareholders. So, you know, if we want to get more and more opportunities for our student athletes, then that's something that we need to lean into. And so I'm always going to be pushing and trying to create whatever advantages we can for the University of Missouri in the NIL space.
Coach, how necessary is that to compete and keep pushing towards the top of the SEC?
I mean, you want better results? You know, you got to get better players, and we got great players right now, but you can always use more. And in order to keep the current players that we have, you know, I saw on Twitter somebody said we got to keep Donovan and Matt. Well, that's wishful thinking. You got to offer them the same amount of money that other people are, and that's the reality. I mean, there's teams that we're playing with, you know, larger NIL budgets than we have. Doesn't mean that we're not doing the absolute best we can. Doesn't mean that we haven't put together a really, really good football team, and there's a lot of people helping us, but more is still more. And until there's a cap on it, I mean, don't we want every advantage that we can possibly get? So, again, not complaining, not pointing out issues, just pointing out what the playing field is that we're in. There's teams that have unlimited support as far as NIL goes, and so, and we want to beat those teams. I've been told I can't beat those teams, so.
There it is again. I'm told I can't beat those teams.
Hey, use it as fuel, Eli.
Okay. So here's what got everyone all worked up in there. He said, I saw somewhere online that we got to keep Matt and Donovan. And he said, well, that's wishful thinking. When he says that, how did you take that? Because people heard that or people read that, and it sounded like he's telling you, well, yeah, we can't keep them. That's wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Isn't that how you take it?
I mean, I guess.
Absolutely how I took it.
Yeah.
It's like, it looks like those guys aren't coming back.
Like, what? And
Yeah.
that's Matt Zollers, your true freshman quarterback right now, the future of the program, and Donovan Alugbade, who's their stud number one. Now they're treating him like the number one wide receiver, and he's wildly talented, true freshman. And, of course, those are two of the top guys that everyone's going to come after. But when he said that, didn't that sound like he's telling you they're not, you know, I read somewhere that we got to keep Matt and Donovan, and that's wishful thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could have been saying, like, you can't just wish for it. You got to make it happen. I don't know.
Okay.
But
so we'll take a break when we come back. So then he had to address that on
on
Tiger Talk last night.
Because usually if somebody says that's wishful thinking, that's like, well, good luck. That
Right.
ain't happening, you know.
That's right. That's right.
You're wishing for something.
That's what I was like. When I read it, I go, that's wishful thinking. So he's just telling you you can't keep both. And then you hear it like, it still sounds that way. So we'll hear a couple of responses and then get your thoughts on everything that he said. We'll take a break back after this on WHB.